Once, in a small town surrounded by dense, ancient forests, there was a road known as Hollow Lane. Locals spoke in hushed tones about the chilling events that occurred on that desolate stretch after dark. Legend had it that a ghostly girl with raven black hair and vacant hollow eyes would appear to unsuspecting travelers. The tale began with a young couple, Mark and Emily, who decided to test their courage one moonless night. They heard the stories but laughed them off as mere superstitions. Armed with nothing but a dim flashlight, they set out on a daring adventure along Hollow Lane. As they walked, the air turned icy, and the forest seemed to come alive with ominous whispers. Unease settled over them, but they pressed on, fueled by youthful bravado. The road ahead appeared endless, surrounded by gnarled branches that reached out like skeletal fingers. Suddenly, the flashlight flickered and died, plunging them into absolute darkness. Whispers turned into soft cries, and shadows danced around them. Mark and Emily exchanged nervous glances, their fear growing with each passing second. That's when they heard the unmistakable sound of a child's laughter. A spectral figure materialized before them, a ghostly girl with a tattered white dress that swirled around her like mist. Her eyes glowed with an otherworldly light as she beckoned them to follow. Unable to resist, the couple walked hesitantly behind her, guided only by the eerie glow of her eyes. The ghost girl led them deeper into the woods, and the temperature plummeted further. The couple's breath formed clouds in the frigid air as they stumbled through the darkness. The girl's laughter transformed into mournful sobs, and the forest seemed to close in around them. They reached a clearing where a dilapidated, long-forgotten mansion stood. The ghost girl pointed to the decaying structure, her eyes filled with sorrow. The couple, now paralyzed by fear, watched as the mansion's windows flickered with ghostly lights, revealing the anguished souls trapped within. In a chilling whisper, the ghost girl told her tragic tale, a story of betrayal, loss, and an eternity spent wandering the desolate road. Mark and Emily felt an overwhelming sadness, realizing they were but the latest in a long line of visitors lured by the ghost girl's spectral call. As dawn approached, the ghost girl faded away, leaving the couple alone in the chilling silence. They stumbled back along Hollow Lane, forever changed by the encounter. From that night on, the haunting wails of the ghost girl echoed through the town, serving as a warning to those who dared to wander the road after dark. To this day, locals avoid Hollow Lane, and those who hear the distant cries of the ghost girl know better than to venture into the darkness, where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and the haunted road claims those who succumb to its eerie allure. Weeks after Mark and Emily's harrowing encounter with the ghost girl on Hollow Lane, the small town remained abuzz with whispers about the spectral apparition and the haunted mansion in the woods. The tale spread like wildfire, captivating the imaginations of thrill-seekers and skeptics alike. A group of friends, drawn by the allure of the supernatural, decided to investigate the mysterious occurrences for themselves. Determined to prove the ghost girl was nothing more than an elaborate hoax, they gathered their courage and set out one fateful night. The friends, consisting of Sarah, Jake, and Alex, armed themselves with cameras, flashlights, and a healthy dose of skepticism. They followed Hollow Lane's winding path into the heart of the haunted woods, where the air grew thick with an otherworldly tension. As they ventured deeper, the forest seemed to close in around them, and the temperature plummeted. The faint glow of the moon provided little solace as shadows danced menacingly among the trees. Unfazed by the chilling atmosphere, the friends pressed on, exchanging nervous laughs to mask their growing unease. Suddenly, the air turned still, and a haunting melody echoed through the darkness. The group froze, their flashlights flickering as an ethereal figure emerged from the shadows. The ghost girl, her presence casting an eerie glow over the surroundings. Sarah, the most skeptical of the group, scoffed at the apparition, dismissing it as a trick of the mind. But as the ghost girl's mournful sobs filled the air, doubt crept into even the most steadfast hearts. The friends found themselves unable to resist her silent beckoning. The ghost girl led them to the decaying mansion, where the windows flickered with the same ghostly lights witnessed by Mark and Emily. The air grew heavy with the weight of sorrow as the ghost girl shared the tragic tale of her past, weaving a narrative of love lost, betrayal, and an eternity spent in limbo. As the story unfolded, the friends felt an overwhelming sadness, realizing that the ghost girl's torment was undeniably real. The mansion's walls echoed with the anguished cries of the trapped souls, and the friends understood that they were now part of the spectral cycle forever entwined with the haunting legacy of Hollow Lane. Just before dawn, the ghost girl faded away, leaving the friends standing in the clearing, shaken to their core. As they made their way back along Hollow Lane, the once skeptical Sarah clutched her camera, now filled with inexplicable images and ghostly apparitions that defied all rational explanation. The group returned to the town, forever changed by their encounter with the ghost girl. The haunting wails that echoed through Hollow Lane became a constant reminder of the thin veil between the living and the dead. The small town, now steeped in a supernatural legacy, guarded the secrets of Hollow Lane, warning all who dared to venture into the night of the ghostly presence that lingered in the haunted woods. Months passed, and the tale of Hollow Lane continued to weave its spell over the town. The haunted road became a topic of cautionary tales, shared in hushed tones around campfires and in the dimly lit corners of local pubs. Few dared to tread the path after dark, and those who did reported strange happenings, a distant melody, ghostly whispers, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched. One evening, a curious journalist named Emma arrived in town, drawn by the rumors surrounding Hollow Lane. Intrigued by the stories of the ghost girl and the haunted mansion, she decided to investigate the paranormal occurrences that had gripped the community. Armed with her notepad, camera, and an unyielding determination, Emma embarked on a solitary journey along Hollow Lane. The air grew tense as she delved into the heart of the woods, her senses heightened by the weight of the town's collective fear. As Emma walked, the temperature dropped, and the moon cast an eerie glow on the gnarled branches overhead. The journalist's steps echoed through the silence, and an unexplainable feeling of being followed sent shivers down her spine. Undeterred, she pressed on, determined to unravel the mysteries of Hollow Lane. Suddenly, the melody from the ghost girl's tale filled the air, and shadows danced on the periphery of Emma's vision. The ghostly figure emerged, her hollow eyes fixed on the journalist. Emma, unafraid, approached with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. The ghost girl led Emma to the dilapidated mansion, where the windows flickered with spectral lights. The journalist felt an overwhelming sadness as the ghost girl recounted her tragic past, revealing the depths of her sorrow and the intertwined fates of those who had crossed paths with Hollow Lane. Unlike those before her, Emma asked questions, delving into the history of the mansion and the events that led to the ghost girl's restless spirit. The ghost girl's wails transformed into grateful whispers as Emma uncovered forgotten truths buried beneath layers of time. As dawn approached, the ghost girl, her form flickering like a fading candle, expressed gratitude to Emma. With a final, mournful gaze, she vanished into the morning mist, leaving behind a changed landscape. The haunted mansion, no longer a beacon of despair, seemed to exhale a sigh of relief as the tormented souls found peace. Word of Emma's encounter spread through the town, and the once feared Hollow Lane underwent a transformation. No longer haunted by malevolence, the road became a symbol of redemption, a place where the living and the dead found closure. Emma's article, published in the town's newspaper, shared the untold story of the ghost girl and the healing that occurred that fateful night. The town, grateful for the journalist's courage, embraced the newfound peace that settled over Hollow Lane, forever changing its reputation from a road of horror to one of redemption and understanding. Dear friends, please click subscribe to receive new stories.